Good evening. This is Dulia de Silva for Gold FM, bringing you your news roundup. Senior cleric Ayatollah Ali Reza Arafi was appointed as the jurist member of a three-man interim leadership council in Iran, effectively positioning him as the country's acting supreme leader. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian and Chief of the Judiciary are also in the council. State media confirmed that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's death hours after silence and denials following the devastating strikes on Iran by the United States and Israel. The government declared 40 days of public mourning following the killing, as well as 7 days of public holidays. Israel's Channel 12 says the country's air force killed a total of 30 senior Iranian officials, including Khamenei, in just half a minute into the opening strike against Iran yesterday. The major military operation, codenamed Epic Fury and Roaring Lion, began across Iran as United States and Israeli forces struck multiple cities. The death toll in Iran was recorded at over 200, with over 700 injured. Since yesterday morning, Iran launched 25 waves of missile and drone attacks against targets across Israel, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait, and Iraq. It was confirmed that 3 people were killed and 58 injured in the UAE following Iranian strikes. Meanwhile, 8 people were killed in a strike on a residential building in Jerusalem, Israel. An expat port worker sustained injuries in a strike near a port in Oman. The Speaker of Iran's parliament called the leaders of the US and Israel filthy criminals who will face devastating blows for their ongoing attacks. US President Donald Trump said that Iran will be met with a never-before-seen force if they hit back at the US. Meanwhile, the United States and Israel clashed with Iran at an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, where the UN chief and many countries urged a halt to their attacks and a return to negotiations to prevent the conflict from spreading further into the region and beyond. Amir Said Iravani, Iran's ambassador to the UN, told the council that the airstrikes killed and injured hundreds of Iranian civilians, which he called a war crime and a crime against humanity. He blasted the UN and the Security Council, its most powerful body, for not heeding Tehran's warnings about the warmongering statements by the US in recent weeks, and urged the Council to act now. While Khamenei's death was prompted celebrations in many parts of Iran, protests were also evident. Hundreds of Iraqis attempted to storm Baghdad's fortified Green Zone, where the US Embassy and government buildings are located. Some threw stones at security forces, who responded with tear gas. Gunshots were heard and smoke was seen rising in the area. In Pakistan, at least 9 people died and 32 were injured after they attempted to storm the US consulate there. Sri Lankan Airlines confirmed that all flights to the Middle East are cancelled today as well, taking into consideration the situation there. They added that the developments are being closely monitored. All other flights scheduled to depart from the Bandar Naik International Airport to the Middle East were suspended today. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority of Sri Lanka placed the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport on high alert to accept diverted aircraft following the closure of multiple airspaces across the Middle East. The CASL advised all passengers to confirm their flight details with their airlines or travel agents before heading to the airport. Despite the high alert, authorities urged the public to remain calm and avoid unnecessary panic. Sri Lankan embassies in Israel, the UAE and Bahrain confirmed that no Sri Lankans were reported as hurt during the ongoing escalation of the conflict in the region. Speaking to us, Ambassador to the UAE, Arusha Rodrigo, stressed that there is no need to panic, despite the unrest. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism said it is closely monitoring the situation of approximately 1 million Sri Lankan nationals living and working in the region. All Sri Lankan missions in the region activated 24-hour emergency hotlines. Additionally, the ministry established an emergency operations centre at the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to provide continuous support. Families in Sri Lanka making inquiries can contact the SLBFE hotline at 1989. Hotlines were also provided for those living in Kuwait and Bahrain. All these numbers can be viewed on www.hirunews.lk/en. The growing fuel queues near filling stations is reminiscent of the economic crisis, and now the government is threatening to bring back rationing. Frustrated at the lack of decorum shown by Sri Lankans who are panic buying fuel, Deputy Minister for Energy Muhammad Ilyas Muhammad Arkam warned that the QR code system would be brought back if the public continues unnecessary hoarding. Addressing the media today, the Deputy Minister said that there are sufficient stocks in place and that there is absolutely no need for panic buying. Earlier today, the chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation confirmed that current oil supplies remain unaffected by Middle East regional instability, as shipments originate from India and Singapore. Sufficient oil orders are secured for the next 2 months, and authorities warned that individuals found hoarding fuel will face legal punishment under existing laws to prevent artificial shortages. President's Counsel Koira de Souza announced his candidature for the presidency of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka for the 2027-2028 term. Brent crude jumped 10% to approximately $80 a barrel today, as traders react to the outbreak of war between Iran and US-Israeli forces. Analysts predict that prices could climb as high as $100 following the strikes, which plunged the Middle East into a new era of conflict. In the meantime, speaking exclusively with Al Jazeera, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that the country has no intention of closing the Strait of Hormuz at present, nor any plans to do anything that would disrupt navigation at this stage. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung said today that he hopes North Korea will resume dialogue as soon as possible to discuss a new era of relations between the neighbours. In a speech marking the Korea's 107th Independence Movement Day, Lee said he would make efforts to restart talks with Pyongyang for peace on the Korean peninsula. Ryan Coogler's vampire thriller Sinners swept the NAACP Image Awards on Saturday, securing 13 trophies, including for Outstanding Motion Picture. Michael B. Jordan won the award for Outstanding Actor, while the film also dominated technical categories, taking home honours for directing, writing, and costume design. Cricket fans and civil rights activists gathered outside the Sri Lanka cricket headquarters today, demanding the immediate exit of the sport's governing body. Led by a Buddhist monk, the group called for President Shammi Silva and his board of officials to vacate their posts, following a string of national team defeats. Protesters allege the current leadership failed to maintain domestic standards and hold them directly responsible for the decline of the game in Sri Lanka. Police deployed heavy security to the area to monitor the demonstration, although the proceedings remained peaceful, with no reports of violence. Former Sri Lanka captain Tulip Mendes received a promotion to the role of Chief Cricket Development Officer in Oman. The appointment follows his long tenure as the head coach of the Oman national cricket team, a position he held for over a decade. During his coaching career, Mendes provided a significant contribution by leading the Omani squad to qualify for multiple World Cup tournaments. In the meantime, South Africa secured a 5-wicket victory over Zimbabwe earlier today. As such, they will be facing New Zealand in the semi-finals in Kolkata on Wednesday. That's it for now. This is Dulce de Silva for Gold FM. Thank you, and have a lovely evening ahead.